Welcome back to the program. Back in studio, our second artist we want to feature is Beaufort's own Angela Baker. Welcome aboard.
Well, thank you, Marty. I'm glad to be here.
A lot of us have followed your career, and it's interesting because, as we've learned earlier, the music business has specific dynamics that are just unique to the music business. But before we get into that a little bit, your background, I mean, where'd the love for music come from?
Oh, I've been singing all of my life, but not publicly until my brother passed away in a oil tanker explosion. And I started going out and performing in churches and doing gospel music as a therapy type of thing, Marty. And it grew from that into actually doing it as a profession, going out and performing in different clubs and festivals and just different things.
See, now you have there are those that are recording artists that spend all their time in the studio.
Right.
Now, you started doing the public performances first.
Right.
And that's for some, that's a lot more difficult. It's lots easier to be in that controlled environment where you don't have to worry about that instant feedback, good, bad, or indifferent.
Right. You know, it was pretty difficult at first to start out on that kind of level. I did some work with Worthy as the Lamb, the Passion play, as an actress with them for about 3 years. And I went through a series of adjustments in my life from agoraphobia, which is panic and anxiety attacks. I had to learn how to use music as my therapy to get out and start getting with people again and getting used to that, the outside flavor of life. And a lot of people don't know that about me, that I had gone through that difficult time, and I used music as a way of my therapy.
Yeah. Now, music has really opened some doors for you.
Oh,
I mean, it may be it started as therapy, but it's really been a road in itself.
Yes.
A lot of people see you at, they think the area festivals and Angela Baker's there. You write music?
I do.
You've recorded music. In fact, you have a video and a CD out, and a single out. If someone was going to say, Angela Baker performs, what kind of music would it be?
I do variety when I'm out in the public. I can do several different artists. I think the last we counted was about 500 different artists we had that I was keeping a count of, that I was singing different songs by those artists. But gospel music is my flavor. You know, okay. I am a Christian, and I love gospel music. However, country, I was always brought up in a family that played country music, and we all that was just a thing in our family. We all loved country music. My father had a band. They played country when I was just a little kid, and at that time, you know, I wasn't involved in it, but up until the incidents in my life, I started singing country, doing some Patsy Cline and practicing, and so it just worked out that the man that discovered Patsy Cline happened to find me at a talent contest.
Wally Fowler.
Yeah, Wally. Okay. He found me. I had done a gospel concert, and it was like a talent search type of thing that WRNS was running, and he was going to be the famous man there that was kind of scanning the talent, and he took a big interest in me, and he took me backstage and talked to me after the concert and said, you know, Angela, we'd like to keep up with you, and I'd like for you to keep doing this type of thing. You know, you need to get more active into more variety music. And at that concert I did a gospel song. So after that I started really practicing on country, and I really started pouring my heart into it. And that's when I picked up some Patsy Cline tunes, not knowing that at that time, I didn't even know he discovered Patsy Cline. And I just started going home and practicing, and what do you know, the next thing I know, he contacts me, and we're invited to go down and do a concert with him. He asked me would I like to sing on one of his concerts, and of course I did. And that's when I did a sound check with a Patsy Cline song because we were trying to get the vocals right in the auditorium where his concert was. And my husband asked him, said, Mr. Fowler, would it be okay if Angela was to do a sound check with a Patsy Cline tune? And he said, oh, of course not, go ahead. And I got up there and sang Sweet Dreams, and when I did, he come flying out from behind the curtains. His wife come running up the aisle. She said, Wally, Wally, look. And he said, keep on singing. I thought the place was on fire. I didn't know what was going on. You know, I was like, oh, Lord, I've really done something bad. I'm at a gospel concert. I'm singing country. They're going to kick me out.
And I haven't even started. There you go.
But it just so happened that he was interested in the way I sang it. And then he made the comment. He said, you're the closest thing to Patsy Cline I've ever seen. And he said, I really, really like this. Come on backstage. We need to talk business. And that's when he started throwing his material at me and making appointments to come down.
Now, you're in Beaufort.
Uh-huh, yeah.
If it's going to happen in country, you're based out of Nashville.
Right.
Is that, is the bridge growing there between Nashville and Beaufort?
Boy, it really is. We got a call last week. As a matter of fact, we got a call from Canada. The agent that is working with me, the record label that I'm on, is making it possible that I can be home and recording here.
And we should mention your label is?
Platinum Plus Records, Billy Deaton, who also was the manager for Farron Young, who passed away at Christmas time. I believe you've probably heard about that. But Billy managed Farron the majority of his career. And he also has like Porter Wagner and Loretta Lynn, several on the label there he works with and promotes. He's one of the biggest promoters there. And he took me under his wing about 4 or 5 months ago. We put the record out on the radio airplay system because he thought it was very interesting. Plus, Wally had contacted him prior to Wally's accident that we have not gone into yet, but he had contacted him about doing my promotion when we did get the record out. And it just so happened that I am fortunate enough to work with Billy, and they have been so nice to me and so dear. They are allowing me to stay home and to work back and forth from here. I got a call from Canada, as I was saying before, last week, and we don't know where we're going to wind up. It was a booking agent that Billy had set me up with in Canada, who, you know, it could be possible that we could be doing some bookings up around that area.
That's neat. We should mention the record is The Hurt in My Heart.
The Hurt in My Heart.
Now that is right now, the record itself is going through the Billboard process, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So someone may say, how does that work? Because it's not like you can go to a local radio station and say, here.
No, it's not.
It used to be.
It's a difficult process, and a lot of people don't understand that you just don't cut a record and it don't get played by all of the local stations. They don't just pick it up and play it and that sort of thing. It has to go through a monitoring stage, and that's through the monitoring radio stations, which is where my record is right now. Okay. We're getting reports that it's playing around Raleigh, up around Nashville, and I get reports almost every day where people have been out west or somewhere and happen to hear it on the radio, and they're like, who is this girl? And gosh, she's way down on the East Coast, but it is playing a lot out in the western part of the United States, because a lot of the monitoring stations are toward that area.
And if it gets approval there, then it goes into the Billboard.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. And we just keep praying to the good Lord up above that it goes into the charts.
That would be great.
You know, that would be major. That would.
We have, I know you've made a local video of it, right? And why don't we, if we can now, show everybody that. Okay. So if we can, let's take a look at The Hurt in My Heart, and you'll see an awful lot of Carter County.
The hurt in my heart is so hard to bear. You've proven untrue, and you've been unfair. Now once again my teardrops will start, but can't wash away the hurt in my heart. did you cheat? And why did you lie? I pleaded so, but you wouldn't try. And now, once again, my teardrops will start, but can't wash away the hurt in my heart. The hurt in my heart is changing my ways. I walk around like I'm in a daze. Tear down those walls that keep us apart. Then you'll erase the hurt in my heart. Why did you cheat? And why did you lie? Oh, I pleaded so, but you wouldn't try. And now, once again, my teardrops will start, but can't wash away the hurt in my heart. It can't wash away, oh, the hurt in my heart.
It's neat because there's so many scenes that are Fort Macon, Carter County.
It's all over the place. We have had such a good time with this video, and we had a hard time making a decision where to do all of the scenes, and we just throwed them in wherever we could find. Some are at our house where we live, some are at Fort Macon, some are on the beach. We had so many cooperative people working with us.
You said you had a good time. It's a lot of work.
Like it worked us to death.
There it
And I
is.
want to tell Lamonte Estelle, who was a good friend of ours, how much we appreciate all his time and efforts in the camera work that he did. He's been really gracious to us.
Okay. We mentioned you may not be able to hear the single right now locally,
Right?
but you can get the CD
That's
directly
correct.
from you as well as the video.
That is right.
Okay. If someone's interested, how do they do it?
They can call our number, our booking office number, which is area code 919-728-1352. And they can get the CD or the video, and we'll be glad to send them out to them. If they do not get us, leave a message on our machine, and we will make sure that we get back with them.
Now, even though you're becoming this huge mega Nashville star, you still do local events, right?
I do a lot of, I'm always here to honor my local people and the veterans. They're really right here in my heart. I love them. I love to do work for the veterans of foreign wars and all of the people of Carteret County. I'm always here.
That's the first, I guess, big project. I mean, there's the fruits of your labor.
Right.
I know you have more coming.
I have another one I'm working on right now. As a matter of fact, I'm told by my record label that the song I'm doing right now was done by, well, Wally wrote it,
Okay.
and he left me the rights to do the song. It's called That's How Much I Love You, Baby, and you might remember this. It was Eddie Arnold's first $1 million record, and I've kind of redone it, and my record label loves it, and they're asking me to send them the DAT to this so that they can do something with it, sort of like what they're doing with The Hurt. And they're also going to have Eddie Arnold review it.
There you go.
I'm really thankful of that. He happens to be affiliated with the people that I'm working with in Nashville.
Now we should mention that, you know, you mentioned your record label and everything.
Right.
I mean, it's not like an artist can pick up the phone and say, I'd like to be on your record. I mean, the fact that you've got an established record company
That's right.
that really has strong roots and is very well respected in Nashville and within your industry.
The number one
For them to
independent
pick you up, it's not like you're, you know, they pick somebody up every day.
I had to work hard, and I was fortunate that Wally had contacted these people about me prior to his death, and that they picked me up after he died. And that was pretty difficult. That was a pretty difficult time to go through. He drowned in an accident. And Billy has had a personal type of interest in me. No, you don't just pick up the phone and get a label. You go record a record, you just don't get the labels. You know, you got to work at it. And you got to have somebody that's interested enough in your product to do something with it.
That's neat. That's neat. Well, congratulations on the first project.
Well, thank you.
I'm sure we'll all be watching.
I appreciate you.
That's great. We appreciate it. There's some more information, again, if you'd like to get a hold of Angela, whether it be a local booking or the CD or whatever, or maybe help it go up the charts on Billboard a little bit. Huh?
I pray.
We'll see you next time right here on Crystal Coast Magazine. Good night, everybody.